Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, People's Proletarian, Petroleum, Prefecture, 272. Cheers. Indeed, cheers. I shall summarize shortly what is going on. It's been a few, I didn't look, but about 1.5 years, I think, in the People's Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture. Time has mostly passed, and things have chugged along and so on. We are getting population growth. It is not quick, but it is a positive it is a growing. That's what it's doing. So, but there is one quite substantial potential problem brewing in this here little orphanages, and some of not our orphanages are quite this bad, but there are those who are pretty bad. What are you okay all of a sudden? No. Look, yeah. You see these people who are 17, 15-year-olds. 15 means you have lived in an orphanage for a while. A 12-year-old is only his or her way. Anyway, you're no percent happy, 100% criminal, no state. This is not going to go well for any of this. Do we have someone who will get into adulthood a little bit more shortly? These orphanages are not working great. I mean, they could be a bit more forgiving. My opinion, maybe. But yes, the problem is, of course, that the orphanage is the number of orphans it can keep in its service, so to speak, in appropriate upbringing. Children they can keep within appropriate upbringing. Yes, every now and then, extra couple of workers makes it in, so therefore the capacity of the place is increased. Which brings terrible consequences here, because as of course, obviously, we have children without appropriate upbringing. A 2-year-old I saw there, but the upbringing has not really started. I mean, we do supply Ustin, little Ustin here with food. But it's really grumpy already. Yes, but you're happy. Maybe if you do this, the orphanage will sort of know its limitations. Maybe I'm not bringing in more than so. We should put it to somewhere where we are at right now, more or less. Not make the situation any worse, please. But it ought to be about there then. Maybe, but we have quite a decent amount of this. Wonder if you could follow them. Chroma 19. You'll be done in not too long a time if you put it on fast forward, maybe. 99% criminal, 5% happy. Still a little bit left in you, but you are completely gone. And you're 100% drunk too. 100% drunk. Very well fed though, and very sporty. 100% criminal. No percent happy. No percent culture. No percent sports. No religion. None. You have a very few interests. It is crime and it's drinking and eating. I know you probably eat and or drink first and then crime, even though they are all at 100. That's how I'd imagine the list of priorities goes. But then the question also remains: what sort of crime will you get up to? If you have a 100% crime rate, it's pretty much a given you will commit. I mean, you could also escape it could be that you escape since your happiness is completely naught and your government loyalty is also completely naught. So same goes for you. I apparently host someone, but here is someone who should be kept around, I suppose. 17. Is this bad everywhere where we have these things? Because we do have quite a few. It's probably okay. It's like real bad, you know. Okay, 20-year-old. And another 20-year-old. You're not that bad. 68% only crime rates, and 60%. You might actually stay for a bit, not long enough to commit a crime, and then we'll lock you up, have you work in an iron mine for depending on the crime. But if it is that high, I suppose you're going to commit a serious crime, like a murder or something. Whatever it is, sort of crime that they get up to here. I've never quite been able to grasp the concept really in this sort of place. In this place. Yes, and don't take in any more orphans. Simply. I mean, it's. I'm sorry, not be able to take care of each and every one of you. But if the game mechanics were not quite that stupid, this is terrible. Look at this place. This has no chance. If you look at the young ones, they're pretty bad. Even at a young age, many of them are not doing great. Any 20-year-old. I don't know if they move to the building most close to where they're currently residing. It will be sort of here around. Personally, primarily, it ought to be, maybe, if there is any, it depends how it works with. Previously, people would not move outside walking range of the current dwelling, as in the old times of the Soviet Republic. Remember, this is quite different now, but you don't. It might have some heritage from that time in that it does people locally. I don't know. But this is the most interesting statistic, almost. That's how we're doing on the free flats. So just 2 kilometers is enough. Don't need to try and get in everything at one time. But one thing that we can be a little bit proud of here. We have to run it on high speed to get anywhere on these people, you know. Sorry, that's how it is. The cartoon mode for the moment. But I like to proclaim that our oil refineries are finally again running back at more or less 100%, 20%. It's not 100% capacity over the entire year, but I think that we reach like a pretty good. Do you even measure it in nines? Perhaps, could be. No, we're not. But it's in the 90s at the very least. In total, it will get even better shortly, or something. If we don't get an incredible crime rate, but it could be a little bit interesting if we were to get an incredible crime rate from these here poor orphans that have grown up without upbringing. Is it my fault or is it the game mechanics' fault? I don't know. It isn't entirely great, this. I'm sorry, we don't have any more people living here at the moment. We're trying to resettle from a major crime death spiral caused by the sudden appearance of water as a concept. Yes. And the water system maybe not being completely intuitive to use. No, it's almost silly. Well, I'm incredibly just incredibly bad at it. I don't know, but I'm getting sort of the hang of it. I think one key concept to understand is that there is a maximum for these here. Big water pipe, max flow pressure per day, 127 cubic meters, and that's what you can do, and it's pretty limited. From one water tower, we only have 2 of those output connections, and that's about 300 a day. I thought it should be what you're able to do here. Yes, it seems to be working. Population is growing and are happy. And the hard citizen reaction is quite clear actually if one is interested in finding such things out. Yeah, hello. That song comes on really definitively, you can say. Anywho, about whatever it was about again. Yes, something with demographics. Yes, demographics for the last, like, to be, you just have to do so goddamn many clicks since it is in this menu pane where the gear button isn't available for some slightly annoying reason. This is a bit too far back. We can have a good history. There you go, 1st of April of, not 1986, no. You have to click a few more times, you see. You want 1976. Yes. Many clicks. It is. You don't want to miss the little arrow whilst doing this, because if you click it outside it, you will go back to where you started. Yes. How it is. 1st of December 1976. Yes, everything was going great. And then the initial bit was not good. No, but yes, this is correct time scale. I have it. Then you saw sort of something where it was pretty okay for a while, but then something happened. I'm pretty sure I know what it was actually. Okay, I see trains here, they're going by all the time, and planes and what have you. No, it's not pretty bad, not too bad. But this, if you want to take it in, you really should run it at regular speed. Otherwise it doesn't look good. Anyway, demographics. This is the only graph you can point at in the game, by the way, which is great that it works for this thing, at least. But if you could just tick other things like it, yes, I want to say government loyalty over time, click, and it would stay, but it feels too basic. Just so like something that should be. Anyway, again, we sort of went on for a bit. You know, it was a bit chaotic, but we muddled through more or less. And what it was we of course had many flats available all over the country. Yes. And especially in the People's Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture capital, and in Utopia here, since they sort of took the hardest hit, I think. As I had like one water tower of the stock kind that was supposed to go be enough for both towns. When they're fully staffed here, fully settled, it isn't quite enough. But two of these are excellent. These mods, community content steel water tower, that has built-in pump and everything. That's fantastic. Yes, quite the handle, I think, on the water system. Yes, it may be a few things. There might be a few places where we have a few bottlenecks still, but they won't show themselves clearly before such time that we are quite populated. Yes, that was all about that. And how we have lost one, I think. You're actually living, you're staying around, 20% happiness, 100% crime rate. How long does it take for you to commit a crime? Therefore your productivity is 30%. It's a shame we don't know your government loyalty. Should have been. It's probably not. We do actually know before hello, you're on the train, it's very loud. before they move out. We know you haven't moved out yet, and you're 19, so it will take. But you know what? Yes, government, and you're completely no percent happy. Yes. You're working at the fabric factory right beneath us, and you're living in a home building called the Super Policemen, I suppose, but including non-genderized police, the super police people. Then I suppose they have to be in English or just the super police. But that sounds more like a thing. It's not a thing. It's just the town. So anyway, languages are slightly different in their what you can communicate, and not what nuances you can communicate, and not. And they probably all languages have their strengths and weaknesses in that regard. I only have only 2 points of reference, but it seems you're 21 now and you have moved. You live, obviously you lived in Superpolis, but you're 13% happy. Thing is, they do get happy rather quickly when getting out in the real world, because all their demands are satisfied. We can do all the things they want. We're efficient and good enough at all these things. You just want to go to the doctor next. You'll have to do that tomorrow. Instead of your first day, maybe. Nah. I'm running at high speed. But there you got to visit the doctor the same day. You got all your needs satisfied. Your happiness went up to 16%. And your crime level actually went down. But the only way to get that down was to have them in prison. But something you might have gotten some sort of hope for the place. Apparently, we have a secret police has been to your flat and installed a little spy device. It's a matter of time here before they get to they end up, they commit a crime and they end up in prison. It might take, I don't know how long it takes on average, but it takes something. But they didn't escape. But we did lose one, I think. But you have no percent, you have no happiness in you. That would be the best, maybe. We have wasted quite a bit of resources on trying to give these children a chance and at the proper upbringing and so on, with the proper upbringing and so on. But we have failed. So if they could go somewhere else maybe and try and find their luck or happiness and satisfaction. Yes, it's probably going to go great. For you, eventually, like you said about you will commit the crime. You'll end up in prison. It will take a long time, but in there, yes. Let me tell you about our prison system. That's something different completely. Here we actually get model citizens when they're done. You're 13.2 out of 13.16 years. You haven't. You're okay. You're not a good example. You are no percent happy. But we have gotten all the crime out of you. No percent happiness. No percent government loyalty. You might flee, or decide to leave the nation. Yes, well, they call it escapes in the game. So there is. I don't know why we haven't. No one is happy. Who has been here for a while? Yeah, you're happy. You have been here for quite some time. You will be a model citizen. 80% government loyalty, almost 79. Wow, that's something. But you're 46. You'll be. You'll be like 30 years left in you. Yeah, I don't understand why they have never. Why the subject of pensioners haven't been ever been a thing. for this game. It would cost a lot because they'd just be citizens having their needs slightly less needs regarding food and stuff, but more needs regarding healthcare, for example, say. And in return, they could take care of the grandchildren or something. To a certain extent, maybe. Somehow, sometimes. This is more like this. Here we have enough workers, tutors at the orphanage, more or less most of the time. Do we have anyone here that is like bad and approaching adulthood? Nah, pretty good. But hey, you're on the criminal list. That's great. Pardon me. Hello. Yes, but they will commit a crime. But it might take a while for them to commit crimes. Oh, what do you do in the meantime? You're supposed to stop here. Yeah, I'm supposed to stop here. Now it's 20 minutes. Yes. That's supposed to be. That was maybe abandoned a while ago. It's not so many things to hard plan for here right for the moment. It's just trying to keep making sure that everything is working properly and wait for the population to slowly grow. One free flat only here. This popular to live on prison. They may well do that. The orphans. So they should move in here then. For example, that's why we have so few free flats up here. Even building another one. Sometime we're going to run into a little bit of a limit regarding the capacity for the buses to take these people to town and have their needs satisfied. The platform terminal is full. It doesn't look full if you look here. It's supposed to hold a few more, but it also counts people on their way here. Huh. That's how it works. It knows. The bus platform knows. Yes, you do it backwards, in the algorithms, so to speak, in the code. Yes. Anywho, whatever. These orphans aren't doing that bad, actually, so they'll probably be fine. And I've noticed something quite significant about the water. What is it I have noticed about the water? Or mines and the workplaces. They don't complain about not having water, but what it really should say, building is without water supply, output is halved. Yes. You get half the output without water. Oh, you had to build a water thing. How did you get water? I get water by truck to them. It seems to be fine. But we had to dig. We had to have sewage, but I figured out what was the easiest way to do it. And obviously this is the easiest way to do it. We could even now have done, silly as it though it may be, could have this here. Here, we don't actually have any sewage trucks at this one, but it's fine. You do sewage, total capacity. There you go, and you can unload. Shoo, over the mountain we go in the snow. You're supposed, right, I haven't finished that thing yet. Correct. We need to start building this. There you go. There's many windows open, but I believe you can keep them whilst reloading the game and so on. That is 25 minutes. I'll try and keep it. Thank you so very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. We have to follow up on what happens to these poor orphans with a high crime rate. Should maybe get the largest sample or something. Good. I'll get the largest sample, and this thing will be finished too. Thanks so very much for watching. Indeed, 267. Was it not of the People's Proletarian Petroleum? That's not at all what you wanted to do. Why the hell did I click that button? I don't know. That's what you want to do. Good night.